Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna cover break of structure. Uh, so previously, in the previous videos I've covered market structure, how we tend to see price being in a trend and breaking structure either to the upside or downside, right? Depending on the trend that's currently in, right? So in this video I'm gonna cover the types of break of structure that we have, right? Because price breaks structure in different ways, and in the ways that it breaks structure, all have different meanings to it, right? So in this video I'm going to cover break of structure. So there are three types of break of structure. The first one is body mapping to body break, and then the second one is wick mapping to wick break, and then the third one is wick mapping to body break, right? So as you can see, there's a bit of a distinctiveness to the names, right? Despite them sounding the same, right? So basically, break of structure is distinguished by which part of the candlestick is being broken, right? So we get the body and we get the wick, right? So for those that haven't gone through candlesticks or don't understand much of candlesticks, I'm gonna recap for you on different parts of a candlestick, right? So on a candlestick, we've got 5 parts, right? We get the high, we get the low, we get the open, we get the body, and the close, right? So the high is basically the highest point at which the candle went to, right? And then the low is the lowest point, right, at which the candle went to, and then the close is the point at which the candlestick completes and closes, while the open is the point at which the candlesticks started, right? So yeah, so for instance, this is for a bearish candlestick, and then this is for a bullish candlestick. So for instance, if price of the previous candle closed at this point, meaning it's gonna open here and then it's gonna push up here. So before it pushes up, it pushes down, right? Before it pushes up, it pushes down, forms the low, and then it goes all the way up to that point, and then at this point it closes. This right here, the visible part is called a body, and then these sticks right here, they're called wicks, right? These sticks right here are called wicks. So from this description of break of structure here, we got 2 parts of a candle that we're going to consider, which is the wick and the body, right? So on the face part, the first type of break of structure, right, we got what we call a body mapping to a body break. And on a body break, we tend to see price breaking past, right? We tend to see price breaking past. Let me just pick up this drawing too so I can show you guys what I mean. Okay, so on this body mapping to body break type of structure, we see price breaking this body, right, by a body. So this candlestick's body breaks the body of this candlestick. It breaks the low, the close rather, right? The close at this point is broken by this candlestick's body, right? And then the second one is called wick mapping to wick break. So wick mapping to wick break, we see that price forms this wick, right? And then the wick is broken by this candle's wick, right? So in this case, we get a wick and it's broken. Structure of the wick, right, which is the high, is broken by this the wick of the current candle. And then the third one, we got wick mapping to body break. So in this case, we got price forming a wick, and then that wick is broken and is broken by the body, and the body closes below the wick. So unlike this case, we see that the wick closes but the body doesn't, hence we consider the wick break. So the wick is the one that breaks here, and then this one we consider it a body break because the body is what breaks this wick right here, right? And then this one we get the body mapping to body break. You see a body breaking the previous candle's body, right? So these are the 3 kinds of break of structure that we do have in the market that you tend to see on the market, and they all have different meanings, right? So before I jump on the market, I'm gonna try to define them in terms of what they imply when you see them on the charts, right? So this one right here, we don't usually consider it that much, right? We don't usually consider this kind of break of structure, the body mapping to body break, right? I'll get into why, but I'm gonna cover these 2 instead first, right? So we get the wick mapping to body break to week mapping to week break, and week mapping to body break. So usually when we see a week mapping to week break on the charts, on the market, it signifies that there's a probably manipulation, right? There's a probable manipulation. So keep in mind what I just said. It's a probable manipulation. Not that it's a certain manipulation. No, it's a probable manipulation, right? So usually when we see price breaks by a week, it's a probable manipulation, because if price is going to break straight to the downside, we want to see a body, a full engulfing body breaking past the previous candle's wick. That gives us confirmation and certainty that, oh, we're actually now pushing to the downside. But usually when we have price break by a wick, we have to wait for another candlestick to come through and to see how price breaks there. If price forms another candlestick right here, right? Price forms another candlestick and breaks by the body, this right here gives us the confirmation that, oh, it's now a proper break. But if it's based on this only and price retraces up here, it's probably going to continue to the upside, because this is not a significant break to say we're going to come back down here, right? So we want to see a proper break to the downside before we establish that price is either continue downwards or not, right? So yeah, so this is what we have here on break of structure. So we tend to see this one as a significant break of structure to the downside, because we see a full body breaking, right? A full engulfing breaking. We tend to see this one rather as manipulation, right? We tend to see this one as manipulation, right? And then with this one doesn't signify much of break of structure. So because it's broken by a because it's broken by a body, it's more viable, it's more considered as a proper break of structure than this one, right? We often consider a full candlestick break by a wick. Hence I said we don't consider this much, because we see it break by the body, right? So we tend to see a proper break when price breaks the low, the actual low, not by the body, right? Not by the body. So if it does and you do identify this, it's more or less the same thing as this. It's more or less the same thing as this, but unlike this one, we have a proper breaking the low, and this one we got it breaking the body, right? So it's more or less the same thing. It's more or less the same thing, but then we like to look out more for a point where price breaks this by the body, full by the body breaking the wick, right? So I'm gonna jump on the charts, right, and give you guys examples and different charts and body breaks. So let me just clear the drawings here. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so this right here is what we consider as a body break. So keep in mind, this is price pushing to the downside, right? Price pushes down, pushes up, and then breaks structure here, right? So we see how price has broken this structure here, and price has definitely broken by the body, right? We see price completing this structure here, breaking it by the body, right? And then from there, price pushes to the downside, reverses, pushes to the downside, right? And then another example, of price breaking by wick, right? So I want to give an example of price breaking by the wick. Okay, perfect. So here, what do we see? We see price breaking by the wick, right? And what happens after price breaks by a wick? We see a push to the downside. We didn't see a continuation. Only later, afterwards, when price breaks by the body, right? When price breaks by the body, we saw this push, right? Price breaks by the body, see a bit of a pullback into this area right here. And then it pushes up, right? And then it pushes up. So in the case where we see price breaks upside here by a wick, right? We wait for price to break by the body, and that's what comes afterwards. So price comes here, pushes down, goes up here, breaks by the body, comes all the way to the almost the same level that it went to, right? Comes with almost the same level it went to, and then now we can have a proper push to the upside, right? We can have a proper push to the upside afterwards. Okay. So I want to give you another example, this right here. So price forms this low, comes to this low, comes down here, and what happens? Price breaks by a wick, and then it pushes all the way up to break structure also up here, right? So this is quite uncertain here, and this is what we get up this break of structure. So when price breaks by a wick, you tend to see these kind of movements, right? You get to see this kind of manipulation movement. So until price breaks proper structure by a body, that's when we confirm that, oh, this is actually a downtrend or an uptrend, until it does break by a wick or a body fully engulfing with fully engulfing body, right? So yeah, that's on break of structure, right? In the next video, I'm going to give more examples on that, on how to determine it and how to use it. Because usually we use a wick a wick a wick mapping to wick break. We usually use that to identify price grabbing liquidity, right? So in the next videos, I'm going to cover more examples of wick mapping to wick break, but in this case, I just want to cover more on the body breaking to confirm whether we're in a downtrend or not. And in most cases where we see price breaking structure to the downside, we have it by a wick mapping to a body break, right? So another case where that happens is price breaking structure right here, right? So you see price breaking structure by this engulfing candle strongly pushing to the downside, right? The same thing happens here, price break structure by the body and pushes down, right? So we want to get this confirmation. We try to avoid where price breaks by the wick, right? For instance, price here breaks by the wick, right? And after price breaks by the wick, what happens? It pushes all the way up, it pushes down, all the way up. We don't have proper movement, right? We've got this consolidation, movement, manipulation. So yeah, we got this manipulation taking place right here. So we try to avoid this kind of break of structure. Want price to fully break downside, right? With the proper engulfing body break to confirm that we're pushing and breaking structure to the downside. Yeah, so in the next videos, I'm going to cover more on this, why price comes down here, grabs the liquidity and pushes up, right? So what is liquidity and how price is and how this kind of break of structure affects liquidity is going to be covered in the videos going forward.